The orca does not enter a hunt relying on luck. One surge through the cold water is enough to reveal the precision of an ocean strategist. During the chase, every turn of the body and every wave creates a decisive advantage. Even other predators can lose direction under the pressure of coordinated teamwork. Once the orca locks onto a target, who is fast enough to escape the pursuit? The orca is the largest member of the dolphin family, carrying the presence of an ocean ruler. A mature individual can grow more than 30 feet long and weigh around 12,000 pounds. The orca's strength does not come from being alone, but from family, memory, and coordination. When strategy, sound, and speed become one, they stand among the ocean's top predators. Dolphins are among the most intelligent and agile animals in the ocean. Known for their social nature, they travel in pods, communicate through sound, and coordinate closely while feeding. Their remarkable swimming ability allows them to reach speeds of more than 20 miles per hour when chasing prey or escaping danger. But in the waters of False Bay, that speed has faced an even greater force: the orca. Although both belong to the dolphin family, orcas are larger, heavier, and far more organized during the hunt. When schools of fish gather, both species may enter the same waters. For certain orca groups that specialize in hunting marine mammals, those encounters quickly become a test of survival. From the deep water below, the orcas suddenly rise, breaking the surface with heavy breaths and the pressure of their massive bodies. Survival instincts immediately take over. The dolphins accelerate, change direction, and try to maintain a safe distance. But the orcas do not charge in recklessly. They force the pod to turn repeatedly, disrupting the rhythm of the group. The sustained pressure and separation tactics gradually push weaker or slower individuals away from the protection of the pod. Once close enough, the orcas use body force, waves, and powerful surges to disorient their target. Some dolphins are lifted above the surface by the force of the encounter, sometimes rising more than 10 feet in only seconds. Moments later, the orca pod tightens the circle with precise coordination. It is one of nature's clearest lessons. Speed may offer a chance to survive, but intelligence and teamwork are often what decide the outcome of the hunt. In an orca's diet, seals do not make up a fixed share, because each population has its own hunting culture. For groups that specialize in marine mammals in polar waters, seals are a high-energy food source. With bodies weighing around 800 pounds, Rich in fat and often resting on ice, they are difficult to reach but highly valuable. In the drifting ice of Antarctica, ice floes become temporary shelters for seals. On the ice, they may seem separated from the dangers of the ocean. But that same place of safety creates the opening for one of the orca's most famous strategies. To locate a target, orcas watch from a distance, lift their heads to scan, and approach as a group. Once the position is clear, the wave-washing technique begins. The pod lines up side by side, accelerates together, and uses its bodies to push water toward the ice. Waves several feet high surge forward, tilting the ice and breaking the seal's balance. This process can repeat many times, sometimes lasting nearly half an hour, until the seal slips into the water. Then the circle closes, and the encounter reaches its final stage very quickly. In some observations, the success rate reaches about 75%. It is also a field lesson where adult orcas adjust the rhythm so younger ones can learn how to hunt. In nature, the greatest legacy is not territory, but knowledge passed through generations. For orcas, seamless coordination turns ocean waves into the hunting art of collective intelligence. Humpback whales are symbols of great migrations, often called the singers of the ocean for their complex sound systems beneath the surface. At around 50 feet long and weighing more than 80,000 pounds, they carry long, paddle-like pectoral fins and a powerful instinct to protect their young. But journeys across thousands of miles of ocean can bring mother and calf pairs into the path of orcas. Against a target many times larger, orcas do not rely on individual strength. They use a strategy of pressure and separation, sometimes lasting for hours during extreme encounters. One group applies pressure around the back and movement path, forcing the young whale to lose rhythm. Another group creates water pressure to separate the calf from the mother's protection. The peak of their strategy lies in a quiet approach and misdirection. Orcas stir the water along one side, causing the mother whale to react with protective instinct. In that brief moment of disrupted timing, the calf moves away from safety and enters a second circle of pressure. Once the vulnerable young whale is separated and losing momentum, the encounter reaches its final stage under the discipline of the pod. By using the mother whale's own protective response to separate the target, orcas reveal one of the most refined hunting minds in the ocean. Not every orca hunt takes place in the open ocean. Some strategies begin right at the edge between surf and shore, where even the smallest mistake can cost the predator dearly. In Patagonia, orcas demonstrate why they are considered master strategists of the sea. Despite their massive bodies, they do not rush onto the beach at random. They read the coastline, wait for the tide, choose the right wave, and accelerate at the precise moment. During these short bursts, orcas can exceed 35 miles per hour, performing the technique known as intentional stranding to reach young sea lions before sliding back into the ocean. But when hunting stingrays, the strategy changes completely. In shallow water only a few feet deep, the orcas do not rely on overwhelming force. They search close to the seafloor, use the ocean bottom as a natural barrier, maintain a careful angle to avoid the venomous tail, and gradually reduce every possible escape route. That is the true mastery of the orca, turning the environment itself into a survival advantage. In many cold and temperate oceans, the great white shark remains a symbol of solitary power. A large individual can weigh more than 5,000 pounds and deliver a bite force measured in thousands of pounds per square inch, powerful enough to make many predators keep their distance. But in the ocean, even that fearsome symbol can become a target. Orcas do not confront the shark through recklessness. They approach with observation, maintain distance, and exploit every weakness in the shark's reactions. One individual moves in close to force a change in direction, while another cuts off the escape route from the side. As the shark's movement pattern breaks apart, the great white gradually loses the advantage of being a solitary hunter. In regions such as South Africa and Gulf of California, several observations have shown orcas turning great white sharks upside down. This can place the shark into a temporary motionless state known as tonic immobility. Afterward, the orcas focus on a high-value nutritional source, showing how specialized their feeding strategy can be. Not every hunt in the ocean begins with speed. Some encounters begin with waiting. Along a migration route of about 10,000 miles, a gray whale mother guides her calf away from the warm lagoons and back toward the north. For an adult whale, it is a familiar journey. But for the calf, every nautical mile is a new challenge. It must learn to keep pace, surface to breathe at the right moment, and stay close to the protection of its mother. Across a wide stretch of ocean, orcas appear. Not loudly, not in a rush, they keep just enough distance to create pressure. Some individuals shadow the pair from the sides. Others move behind them, gradually narrowing the safe space around the gray whales. The gray whale mother is nearly 49 feet long, large enough to become a living wall between her calf and danger. But the orcas do not try to break through that wall with immediate force. They take turns pressing the direction of travel, forcing the mother and calf to constantly change rhythm. Time becomes the weapon. As the calf begins to lose its pace, the protective distance slowly stretches apart. That is the moment the orca pod has been waiting for. In the open ocean, victory doesn't always belong to the strongest, but to the ones patient enough to turn every small movement into a survival advantage. A close approach awakens the instinct of one of the most formidable predators of the grasslands. But not every target panics and runs. Some rivals are fast and resilient enough to halt that advance. In the wild, authority exists only when it is continually proven. So when the advantage fades, can the lion still hold its crown? Beneath sediment-rich river waters, the Nile crocodile nearly blends into mud, current, and shadow. At around 16 feet in length, with a bite force of about 3,700 pounds per square inch, it does not need to display power to create pressure. Its strength lies in silence, patience, and precise timing. Known for ambushes along the river's edge, it creates a constant sense of caution for animals stepping into shallow water. For a pride of lions, the riverbank is both a necessary stop and a high-risk boundary. In a brief moment as a lion crosses, the surface can erupt from a sudden surge moving at roughly 30 feet per second. With powerful jaws, the crocodile leaves little room for error. Even when feeding near the water's edge, lions must remain alert to movement rising quietly from below. While adults may react in time to step back, the curiosity of cubs can quickly increase the risk. A single misstep on the slick mud, a distance off by just a few inches, can be enough to break balance. In this place, strength on land is no longer an absolute advantage. The terrain itself reshapes control of the moment. This is not only a contest between strength and ambush, it is a lesson shaped by the environment. When the water takes control, even the ruler of the land must know when to step back. The rival that makes lions most cautious is not necessarily a massive body, but a system of discipline known as the spotted hyena. Operating within a matriarchal social structure, with clans that can reach around 80 members, each group functions as a unified entity, where collective intelligence outweighs individual strength. When they detect lions controlling a contested food source, hyenas do not rush into direct confrontation. They begin with far-reaching calls, summoning others from multiple directions. Step by step, the formation expands, spreads outward, and creates a ring of pressure around the contested space. Rather than engaging head-on, hyenas wear down the lion's focus through constant vocal signals and brief advances. As their numbers grow and collective pressure builds, the lion's control can begin to shift within moments. Yet hyenas also read the situation carefully. If the balance turns against them, the group withdraws in order, preserving strength for another opportunity. In the wild, this is not weakness, but a refined survival instinct, knowing when to advance and when to step back to endure. Across the open grasslands of Africa, African wild dogs do not stand out for their size, but for their discipline. Each individual typically weighs around 70 pounds, much smaller than an adult lion. In return, they possess endurance, speed, and a level of coordination rarely seen among predators. Between lions and African wild dogs, a tense boundary always exists, where a single advance can shift the rhythm of the plains. When a lioness moves into the hunting grounds of a wild dog pack, she does not face a single target, but a small, fast, and tightly connected formation. They do not scatter in panic. They spread out in multiple directions, maintain a safe distance, and take turns applying pressure. A common strategy unfolds as one group distracts from the front, while others press from the sides, forcing the lioness to constantly turn and defend. With sustained speeds of around 37 miles per hour, African wild dogs can maintain this pressure long enough to disrupt control of the situation. Each time the lioness moves in, the formation stretches. Each time she slows, the pressure quickly returns. In the end, the lioness is forced to step back. In the wild, stepping back is not always failure. Sometimes it is the instinct to conserve energy and survive. The lion is one of the most powerful and highly social big cats. It lives in structured prides, where females typically lead the rhythm of the hunt, while males focus on protecting territory and maintaining the group's position. In the wild, the lion's hunting success rate is often below about 30%, showing that failure is a natural part of survival. The wilderness remains balanced. Even the ruler of the grasslands must face the cost of a single miscalculation. The African buffalo stands as a living fortress of the grasslands. Weighing around 1,100 pounds, it is not only a major source of energy within the ecosystem, but also one of the most difficult challenges for lions. This is a world where strength doesn't stand alone, but is always tied to the discipline of the herd. When the boundary of safety is crossed, buffalo do not scatter. They lower their heavy horns, hold formation, and can accelerate to about 37 miles per hour in short bursts. A direct impact can generate immense force, prompting a predator to quickly adjust its approach. In encounters like these, lions cannot rely on speed alone. They must read the wind, judge distance, and identify gaps within the formation. The true strength of the buffalo lies in its protective instinct. When an alert signal spreads, the herd tightens formation, shielding vulnerable members at the center. Adults take position along the outer line, forming a living wall that forces lions to weigh every move. When the grasslands grow still again, the lesson remains. Position is not defined by strength alone, but by unity at the right moment. Across the savannas and semi-arid regions of Africa, antelope are not only a vital source of energy, but also a major challenge for lions. In many ecosystems, medium to large ungulates make up a significant portion of their diet. But to bring down these animals, lions must overcome speed, formation, and highly alert defensive instincts. In a dry landscape, two hungry young lions test their chances against an oryx weighing around 450 pounds. This antelope stands out with straight horns over 3 feet long, forming a formidable line of defense. When approached, the oryx does not panic. It stamps a warning, angles its horns toward the pressure, and maintains distance with precise inch-by-inch movement. With wildebeest, the challenge takes on a different form. When pressed, it does not flee in disorder, but turns, lowers its head, and uses its curved horns as a barrier. A single well-timed response can be enough to make a lion step back, recognizing that control can shift in an instant. Even the sable antelope, weighing close to 500 pounds near the water's edge, can turn a moment of drinking into a strong defensive stance if a lioness approaches from the wrong angle. A small miscalculation in position is enough for the predator to lose its advantage and withdraw. Against such resilient opponents, lions must rely on calculation and patience. On the savannah, survival is not only about fleeing, it is about staying composed at the right moment. In Africa, the giraffe stands out not only for its height, but for how it turns its massive body into a living observation tower. Standing over 18 feet tall and weighing around 2,600 pounds, it can detect movement from a great distance, often before other animals even sense approaching danger. For lions, it represents a large but high-risk source of energy. A healthy adult is not an easy target to overpower. The pride must spread out, guide its direction, and wait for the moment the giraffe loses rhythm or becomes separated. In the wild, the success rate against this target is only around 25%, as a single misjudged angle can erase the opportunity. When pressured, the giraffe does not panic. It pivots, keeps its balance, and uses hind legs nearly 6 feet long to create a defensive zone around itself. Each time the lions hesitate, the balance shifts toward the one that maintains distance. If the focus shifts to a calf separated from its mother, the chances may rise to around 45%. But at that moment, the entire group becomes more alert, tightening its awareness across the landscape. This journey leaves behind not only the image of strength, but also the power of collective intelligence. In nature, survival does not belong to the strongest, but to those who know how to adapt. Other powerful forces of survival are still waiting ahead, silent and unpredictable. If you want to see more intense survival encounters, like and subscribe to stay with us. Because beneath the deep blue water, every moment can rewrite the order of nature.